Thank you very much, Michael, for coordinating this. I'm used to a room full of people, so I'm going to assume we have an internet connection with full of people, and they're sitting comfortably in their homes or offices. And I'll do the best I can. This is about a 60-minute presentation, and I'd like to open up with, if you do not need new business, please log off. You do not need to waste your time on this seminar if you do not need new business, okay? So with that in mind, I'm going to talk to you about prospecting, and prospecting is the step in your selling process that identifies potential customers for a product or service. Now, I want to thank ADI for putting this together. They sell lots of products. This is the first series of seminars that's not selling you a product. We're selling a service. But in any event, you as an alarm technician, alarm salesman, security alarm integrator, you are selling a service. Whether you define that service as peace of mind, or fire protection, or security protection, or video surveillance, you are selling a service. And I'm going to talk to you about how to find business. So why am I talking to you? Mike said he knew me for decades, which automatically means that I'm old, and that's true. Some people say I'm a veteran, and that just means that I've got a lot of scars. But I come to you from two angles. Number one, I am the owner of Security Partners, and we are a wholesale monitoring company founded in 1998. We have a couple 100,000 customers that we monitor for, and it's actually more than 700 dealers. And we do that through our central stations in Pennsylvania, Nevada, and San Antonio. We are ULFN and 5 Diamond and members of the Monitoring Association, ESA, PSA, and NFPA as well. Let me tell you a little bit about Security Partners. We founded in '98. In 2007, we opened a new central station headquarters here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is my hometown. And then in the fall of 2013, we acquired a central station in San Antonio, Texas called Response Center. And in the winter, I acquired 2 central stations that were put together and acquired by Mace, the pepper spray people, in Anaheim. In 2014, we acquired a central station in Las Vegas, and then we bought a building and renovated it, and we moved our technology to Vegas, and we kept our Anaheim location as a dealer support facility. And just 10 months ago, we moved into a brand new $5 million facility in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is our new corporate headquarters. And I'm standing in the training room for that facility, and we're excited to be here. I also am the owner of Select Security. We're a regional installation service company that I founded in 2003. So a lot of my comments to you are really generated about how I built Select Security and the prospecting and finding a business in the security and fire, video surveillance, and access control business, what you do every day. Select Security, I owned Commonwealth Security back in the 90s, sold out in 97. It was a pretty big company. We had 10 locations, 200 employees, 25,000 customers, 750,000 of recurring revenue. We sold to Republic in 1997. That was Wayne Huizenga, who was a darling on Wall Street at the time. Today, Select, I started in 2003 with 12 customers. Based on 2018 SDN 100, we're currently the 6th largest individually owned security system company in the U.S. We have over 60,000 customers, and we were named the fastest growing security integrator in 2019. Okay, so much for the commercials. They tell you in any seminar to tell you what you're going to tell them what you told them. So I'm going to talk to you about lead flow, prospecting, referrals, lead generation, different than lead flow, and your sales plan. Do you know your sales cycle? There are 7 stages of a sales cycle. What are they? First, you got to make contact. You don't get anything you don't ask for in the order. You've got to make contact. You have to qualify them. Are they really somebody that's I want to sell to? Is there somebody that's going to buy? And they're two different things. I can tell you, Select Security does not sell to adult bookstores. I don't want to sell to them. As a customer, we don't want to do business with. We don't want to do business with renters. We don't want to do business with people that live in mobile homes. That's not long-term customers for us. But do you identify that customer as somebody you want to do business with? And do you qualify that customer? Hey, I want to do business with that jewelry store. Is he doing well? Is he qualified? Does he need something that I sell? And then you've got to nurture that prospect, and you've got to make an offer. You got to get in front of them. I used to tell a story. I would never hire anybody that fishes or golfs. You know, the stick's too long, the ball's too small, and anybody who can sit in the boat for 6 hours can't work for me. But if I walk in to an office and they've got this big fish on the back wall, I can talk fish, because did you catch that? And that's nurturing and building that relationship. You got to present your offer. You got to lay it out. What is your offer? Is it a paper offer? Is it a PowerPoint presentation? Is it a brochure? Is it a leave behind? How do you present that offer? Obviously, you got to learn about overcoming objections. It's pretty simple, and when you practice overcoming objections, and what are the typical objections? You all know. I don't need it. I don't use it. I can't afford it. But you have to learn to be able to overcome objections, and then you got to close the sale. You do not get what you don't ask for. You got to close the sale. You have to ask for the order. And all of that sales cycle is dependent upon, number one, prospecting. Where do I prospect? Where do I find that business? And how do I get there before my competitor? Do you have a distribution policy? Do you have a tracking policy? And how do you measure those results? I love it when a guy says, well, I'm a sales manager. And I said, okay, what's your distribution policy? Well, what's that? You need to have a distribution policy. I don't care if you have 2 salespeople or 22. And your distribution policy can be anything you want it to be. Everybody gets the leads in order. First, second, third, fourth, every other lead. You get the commercial leads, you get the residential leads. Harry gets the fire systems, Tony gets the access control system. Whatever your distribution policy is, put it in writing. You can't cheat from that, because if you cheat from that, you will lose your salespeople. You will increase your turnover in salespeople. And I'm reminded by, the sales manager said to me, well, I got this really good lead. It's for a school district, and the next guy in the pecking order is Jim. Well, Jim he'll blow that lead, so I'm going to go out, I'll just keep that lead for myself. If you do that, you lose Jim. Rather, you should probably take Jim along and say, Jim, this is a big deal. This is a 20-location school district. You've not done one before. I'm going to mentor you and teach you and help you learn how to lay out that system. So put a distribution system down. You got to put one in writing, whatever it is. Every other call-in, every other referral, every other web lead, whatever you decide your distribution system is, put it in writing, post it, and follow it. Track it. You'll hear me use a couple of times 1, 2, 3. There's a million ways to track leads. I love it when a sales manager says, well, I'm going to go visit the branch, sit down with the salesman, and what'd you do last week? Well, we use the 1, 2, 3 method, tracking system. 1, you have had a first appointment. I don't mean you picked up the business card at the local gas station. You have had an appointment. You met the person. You talked to that person. You talked about video surveillance. Number 2, I have a second appointment scheduled. That's a 2. And number 3, in my heart, I believe with a 90% chance I'm going to get that deal. So now as a sales manager, open up the book. How many 1s, how many 2s, and how many 3s? You got a guy that's got a lot of 1s, he's a prospector. But if he hasn't got a lot of twos, he doesn't know how to move the ball from finding a prospect to getting a second appointment. Now you know as a sales manager what to work on. Or you got a guy who says, I've got all these threes, but nothing's closing. What's the problem? He's a prospector. He's got a second appointment. Does he have a problem in his presentation? Why isn't some of these deals closing? Do we need to work on his handling objections and closing? 1, 2, 3. Very, very simple, easy to remember system. Do you have a measurement for results? What is your measurement system for results? Is it total volume of sales? How much RMR? How many new prospects did he call on a week? How many phone calls did he make? How do you measure the results? And how do you track those results? Because it's not just in, well, I went out and I cold called 25 places. And I brought back 25 business cards. Well, that's not measuring results. You're a good prospector, but results are contracted sales. Results are I've made the follow-ups. I've managed the customers in my backyard, my existing customers. What are those results that you want out of a salesperson? Put it down in black and white, and this is what I'm looking for. In addition to you prospecting and finding 10 new commercial businesses this month, I want you to also talk to the code enforcement people in your sales territory. I want you to talk to the crime prevention. Did you stop in to the local police department and say hello? What are the results that you're looking for? So at the end of the month, you open up that book, and I got the 1s and the 2s and the 3s, and I can see the activity, because activity breeds sales. So what is the activity, and what results are you asking him to do or her to do in that particular week, that particular month, that particular day? What goals are you giving them, and how are you measuring those results? How many prospecting calls did you make last week? I understand we've got over 100 people logged in. Be honest with yourself. I know I did 3 last week. I closed all 3. I still sell. My business card doesn't say president or CEO or owner. It says Patrick Egan. Some salesman. So I know where I'm prospecting. I know who I've talked to. And I can tell you that, I sold a system here, there, and the other place. And I also know that I've got a guy, Kevin Brown, and he's going to send his contract in today. So how many prospecting calls how many ones did you put on your book last week? Be honest with yourself. What's your goal? Is your goal 2? Is your goal 22? Choose your prospects wisely. I'd like to spend a little time on this because we'll talk about a sales guy who worked for me for a long time. He is now since retired. Ed was the prospector's prospector. Ed had a box of war leads, and anyone could shake a stick at it. Everybody was a potential customer to Ed. And while that's true as a salesman, everybody's a particular prospect. And while that's true, Ed was happy making $50,000 or $60,000 a year. Ed could have made 120, but he spent an awful lot of time on prospects that he was never, ever, ever going to get business with. So identify those who are more likely to buy. I read the newspaper yesterday in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is North Allentown. A local company has gotten a grant from the state because they developed a self-test for the COVID test. And they announcing that they're going to hire 170 people on at least 200,000 square foot building and blah, 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 blah. We're already on it. We've already called the developer, the building owner, and we've already got an appointment. So they're likely to buy. They just got money. They've got technology. They've got some kind of proprietary information or software or their testing mechanism, whatever they got, they need to protect. They have intellectual property. So they're likely to buy video and access control. And they're likely to buy really quick because it's gold. So who's most likely to buy? Are you managing a territory? Are you only going after video accounts? Are you going after commercial fire accounts? Who's building? Who's the electrical contractor in the area? Identify who's most likely to buy and go after those. I hate to say it, but forget the rest. Profile the kind of business you like to do best. Man, if you're really good at video, stick with video. Sell the hell out of video. But if your mantra or your command from your dealer, where you work, says you have to learn everything, you have to sell everything, well then what is your best client? A school? A financial institution? A healthcare? A hospital? A nursing home? What are you really good at? What's the best target? Where should you be spending your time? And then target those businesses that have the highest likelihood of success and forget the rest. So, where's it hot? It's hot in all this COVID testing. It's hot in healthcare. It's hot in the nursing homes. Retail, a little bit of concern with retail. 24/7 stores, it's hot. The fast food business is doing very well with carryout. So all the McDonald's and all the franchises and the Panera Breads, they all got lots of money. They're doing a ton of business. All you gotta do is look at the stock market for the publicly traded companies in the fast food business. So who's the most likely to give you success? Be prepared. I like to tell our salespeople, who's really in charge? Sometimes it's the IT guy who absolutely has the network locked down, and you're not going to get anywhere till you get to the IT guy. Sometimes it's the facilities manager. Sometimes it's the person you met with, the admin. Who is in charge? And if you can't find out exactly who's in charge, who's on the board? I remember trying to get an appointment with a nonprofit here called the Fulton Opera House, which, by the way, is the oldest continuously operating opera house in the world, in the United States, excuse me. And the Fulton Opera House is doing a big renovation. It's going on now. And we had a little hard trouble. They were announcing it. We knew the architect, but they'd already had somebody else in mind. And so I went to the board. And they identified the 8-member, 10-member board, and there were 3 or 4 people on the board that were customers of Select Security. And I used a board member to give me an appointment with the guy, and we got a $250,000 job out of it. It's work in progress right now. And I went to the board because I didn't know the new guy running the facilities. Corporate decision makers expect you to have an understanding of their business. So don't go knocking on the door of the manufacturing business if you don't know what their pain points are. If their pain point is scrap metals being stolen and they're not getting their money back for their scrap copper, you ought to know that there are copper tubing, Reading Tube in Pennsylvania sends out outside in the dumpsters tens of thousands of dollars of copper scraps. And it gets stolen. So there's a likely candidate for outside video surveillance. So what do? All they do is extrude copper pipe, copper tubing. You got to know the business you're calling on. You got to figure out what services you can sell them. And you need to be updated, even if it's just the internet work. What do? Don't be knocking on the door of the business, walking in like, oh, what do you guys do here? You do that, you've already lost the step. You have to be reflective. So what's that mean? I like to use the train logo, the old crossing train, stop, look, and listen. I have that in the lobby of our one of our buildings, stop, look, and listen. Analyze the variables that influence your success. I had a friend of mine say to me, he's going to grow a beard all winter, but I do my sales during the summer, and I shave because people won't buy as quickly from someone that has facial hair. Never thought of it that way. That's his variable. What's your variable? How do you dress? Tough to be calling on a business in suits when you're in South Texas. You should be in blue jeans, I assume. I don't sell in South Texas. But what influences your success? What time do you start? How alert are you in your presentations? You have to evaluate your target, the right companies and decision makers. You have to look and listen how your presentations are. How's your voice sound? Are you talking too fast? Are you talking too loud? Are you talking too slow? How about your emails? What's your voicemail say? Is it a welcoming? Is it is it tidy, leave a message? Or is it, you've reached Patrick Egan's cell phone, thank you for calling. Unfortunately, I'm either out of the office or on another line. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. What's your voice message say? What do your emails say? You know, do you respond K, like I do all the time? Or do you spell check? It's not hard to spell check. You send out an email with a misspelling. I can tell you I've got resumes from people that have misspellings on the resumes, and I set them aside. I don't care what their experience is. If you can't spell check something that you sent me, you can't work here. What kind of written correspondence? Yeah, I still send out handwritten thank you notes. Study your approach, how you approach the door, how you get past the gatekeeper. I remember I was working out in Altoona with a retired sales guy of mine, Gary Kimmel, wonderful guy, not Altoona, State College. And he said, I can't get in, I can't get in, I can't get in. He said, Mary, she has got it locked down. I can't meet the guy. They're building a new building. So we went to the local flower shop and we picked up a dozen roses, which back then probably cost $20. And you probably wouldn't do that today because it might be sexual harassment. We walked in and he'd already been in, he already knew who she was, handed her the roses and said, Mary, have a good day. We'll talk to you later. And we left. He got a phone call and he got his appointment. Box of candy. You got to get around the gatekeeper. Saturday mornings. I love Saturday mornings. No gatekeeper. Referrals. We all need referrals. We all love referrals. We cherish referrals. But do we work for them? Do we ask for them? Did we ever get a referral? Be honest with yourself. You're all out there on the other end of this internet line. Have you gotten a referral, sold a deal? I can see the nods heads nodding. Excuse me. Did you take time to thank the referral? I don't mean just give them a $50 a month free monitoring service. Did you write a thank you note? Hey, thanks a lot, Jennifer. Thank you so much for the lead from Mrs. Smith. She's very happy with her system. Growing your business is very hard work. The sales group, whether it's one person or 100, your function is a time-consuming job, and it's an ever-moving target of you filling that sales funnel. How many ones? Fresh prospects on a regular basis. I tell all my salespeople, I didn't hire you to not bring new business. Yes, you're going to get some referrals, and yes, you're going to get internet leads. Yes, we get call-ins and all that other stuff, but you are responsible for your own business. I can lose money all by myself. I don't need your help. I'm very good at it. Sometimes the best qualified leads come from a strong referral business. Reminds me of a guy named John Baer sold me my swimming pool a long time ago. And he took me from a $16,000 in-ground swimming pool to, a $60,000 pool, so we were done. He made me give him made me, encouraged me, sat down with me to give him 5 leads of homeowners with children. He's already identified his prospect. Gotta be a homeowner, gotta have kids, get me in front of them. Can't believe how happy the Eagles were with their pool. I don't know, he probably got a sale or 2 out of it. One of the best things I've done is when you see a happy customer, the little old lady still has their phone book, and you say, "Can I have your phone book, please?" Under the S's, I'm going to put select security, here's the number to reach me. And under the E's, I'm going to put Patrick Egan, here's my cell phone number. Wow, Mrs. Smith, you've got a lot of contacts in your phone book. I can't help but see how happy you are with the services that we provided you. Who do you think else could benefit from a residential security system like we put in for you? Strong referrals means strong business. Set a target. If you're sitting on the other end of this presentation and you don't have any referrals, or you have some referrals but not many, you get 2 a month, set a target. I want to double my referrals, or I want to move my referrals up by 25%. I get 5 a week, I want to get 6 a week. I want to get 7 a week. But you need to set that target in a particular time frame. I get 10 referrals a month, I want to get 15 next month. How are you going to get them? You got to learn to ask and you got to nurture. And you need to call your existing customers for referrals. Those that are happy, we'll give them to you. Timing. What's the best time to get a referral? Right after you close? Absolutely not. Maybe you get a referral when you close it. John Bear did. He got swimming pool referrals. Pool wasn't even in the ground. Let your customer experience your good work first. Post-sales skills pay big dividends. Call your customer after install. Call your customer after install. Is everything okay? Now, you ought to be checking in with your service dispatch. Has there been any callbacks? Check in with the monitoring company. Any false alarms? You're informed. You're calling the customer and say, "Hey, Mrs. Smith, I understand the installation went great, but I do see that you only have 1 person on our emergency call list, and I think that we should have at least a 2nd person in case you go out of town. Oh, I see you not armed the system this week at all. Is there a problem? Would you like retraining? I see you had 2 alarms and you canceled them. Do we need to increase the delay on your front door when you open it up by mistake to get the newspaper? How can I help you use your system better?" You do that, then ask for a referral. Then more likely, they're more happier to give you that referral. Top 10, 15, 20. Go into your database, go into your customers, find the happiest customers you have, those that are ecstatic about your service, and ask them for referrals. Use them for referrals. Oh, by the way, did you know that we take care of the City of Lancaster Police Station, which is true, in the school district of Lancaster, and the entire Catholic Diocese of Cleveland? Happy customers will give you referrals. Use them, get their approval, get their permission, and find those top 15 or 20. Go meet them. They change, people change, you know. Principal of the school is going to be different. Go meet them, shake their hands. A little bit of issues here with COVID, but in any event, get out in front of your top customers, meet them, make sure they're happy, sell them something else, but at least get referrals and know, oh, if you're going to refer ABC K&L plating, talk to Bill Smith or whatever, so you know who to refer to. Give and receive. You give your customers extra service and follow up before asking for referrals. When you give willingly to your customers, they will gladly return the favor. So, in my day-to-day sales activities, when I was more active out there, I would go to our restaurants in the markets, customers of ours, and I would take my credit card and have them run it on the machine, or I would buy gift cards now, and I'd buy, and they sell you a $20 gift card at a discount. I'd buy $200 worth of gift cards. And I'd include a gift card, and I'd thank that customer for a referral or a sale or whatever, and include a gift card. Now the restaurant's going to see that I'm giving out their gift cards. I got it at a discount, and I'm helping feed the hand at fees. But that restaurant will gladly give us a referral. And the customer that's using, oh, I love Lombardo. That's the best Italian. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the referral. A little $10, a little $20. It goes a long, long, long way. I have this favorite diner in Lancaster. When I'm in town, you can find me around 8 o'clock, 8:30 at the Linden Diner. There's probably 75 waitresses. Every year, I walk in there with a pack of $10 Amazon cards, and I give it to all the waitresses. I can't remember all their names, but I just, little Merry Christmas. I don't stand in line when it's Sunday morning. I walk right in and I get a seat, and I get served. What's that worth? Inform your customers. You know, what type of customer can help you? If you're selling video, then you need a video customer that's going to refer you and say, I got the best video system, blah, blah, blah. You need to provide a clear picture of the customer demographics that will help your referral market. If you're the residential guy, I work in these neighborhoods, the homes worth $100,000 to $200,000, whatever the demographic is for you, whatever territory your office has set, or the type of systems. You may not have a territory. You may only be selling commercial fire and access control. So what are the demographics for that? Well, every code required fire alarm, every school district, every commercial building, every warehouse. You're going to drive past the houses because that's not your gig. So what is your sale? There's not everything out there. You can't get off this seminar and walk out the door and say, I'm going to sell everybody. Be more specific. We talked about qualifying those customers. Now we talked about setting up demographics on who's going to give me the best referral. Probably my happiest customers in this kind of category. Offer reward program. We give a month's free service, no matter what it is. I don't care if it's a $200 a month commercial business. What gets rewarded gets done. You all know that. Prepaid gift cards. I talked about the restaurant program. What's the referral program? And we promote it all the time in our email newsletter. That's the referral program. I can tell you right now, here's your tip of the day. Find your 10 happiest customers today. You know who they are, start writing them down. I see somebody already written it down. And when you have those 10, call them this afternoon. Call those 10 customers, get to the right person, and ask for a referral. Before the end of the day, you'll have at least one referral. And that'll be easier than cold calling and knocking on their door. It'll be a warmer call. Bill Smith just referred me to you, Fred. I'm going to happen to be in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania tomorrow morning. Does tomorrow morning or afternoon work best? I'd like to show you the video surveillance system we put in for K&L plating. They're extremely happy, and I know you do the same kind of thing. And let me tell you how we've helped them with their pain points in their business. Thank you. Can't say it enough. Email, personalized voicemail, personalized letters. I send out thank you cards, make phone calls, text messages, emails to all my customers, thanking them for business all the time. I give feedback on your success. No obligation to call back. Hey, Mrs. Smith, I wanted to let you know I got a system sold to Mrs. Fry. She's very happy with it, and she added smoke detection. I know you didn't want smoke detection, but she did, and she's very happy with the system. I wanted to thank you very much. I'm going to be sending you a note. And I send her a note, a little $10, $20 card to Target, Home Depot. I only give out cards to customers of ours. I'm not giving out, Home Depot happens to be a customer. We do their fire alarm pump inspection in Pennsylvania, but Target is not. So I shouldn't have said Target. So let's just say we target customers of our own, and we want to feed the hand of fees. Lead generation, different than referrals. Now this is getting leads, okay? And like I said earlier, if you do not need new business, please disconnect from the seminar. This is about how I go get new business. Lead generation. Network with everybody. Disregard the dead ends and chase the hot ones. Where do I sit at the dining room? At the counter. Why? I want to talk to the guy next to me. The 3-foot rule. What do you do? I'm a truck driver. What do you do? I'm in the security alarm business. Who's watching your home while we're having breakfast here? Okay? So, network with everyone. Talking to the strangers, 3-foot rule. On the bus, train, plane ride. I love to tell the plane ride. Coming back from somewhere, I ended up talking to the young lady 2 seats over. Middle seat was open. And I got her business card. And she's in the consulting business for medical marijuana for a company called Cure PA. I didn't even know about. We landed in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And we have done probably close to $1 million with Cure PA. They've got grow facilities, dispensaries, processing facility in Ohio, grow facility in Oklahoma, and they're headquartered 30 miles away in Harrisburg. I never heard of it. I don't know anything about it. But the lady, 2 roads over, coming in from Denver, Colorado, she knew all about it. I got her business card. You could sit in a plane, put your headphones on, and not talk to anybody. I do that sometimes. My old buddy Dick Metzler used to say, my head is full. Well, sometimes my head's full and I don't want to do that. But I pick my neighbors. I fly Southwest. And I'm looking to see who I might be able to do business with and start that conversation. My wife teases me that I copy the tone of their voice. I copy the accent. It's terrible. If I get down to Texas, I'm a y'all. I start talking y'all. And it's amazing. I don't know why I do that. But anyway, if they're a fast talker, you need to be a fast talker. If they're a good old boy, slow down, you need to be a good old boy, slow down, and let them speak while you listen. People like people who are like that. Make the person feel like they're the most interesting person you have ever met. How do they do that? Don't interrupt a meeting with a cell phone call. My cell phone isn't on. I'm doing a presentation. It's off. Same thing if you're face-to-face with a client. You cannot take a call. You need to have that on vibrate. It goes to voicemail. My time with you is the most important thing we're doing right now. The number one thing that I need to accomplish today is to get a second appointment with you, and I'm not going to let anything interrupt that. You're the most important person. We're going to talk about your fish, we're going to talk about your kids, we're going to talk about your lousy golf game, but I'm going to pay attention to you, and you're going to know that I am sincerely interested in doing business with you at your speed, and that I'm paying attention to the things you're telling me about your business, because that's going to tell me where the pain points are. You know, I love knocking on the door of a competitor, and you get in there and say, gee, we already have a security system. I just have one question, Mr. Smith. Have you ever had false alarms? That's all you got to ask. You guys all know it. The answer is yes. Minor point closing. Let me tell you what our company has done to reduce the number of false alarms. And that seems to be a pain point for you. Yeah, I got to pay the guy part-time to come in overnight and reset the darn thing and a bird in a warehouse. And I've heard it all. And you all on the other end of this internet, you've heard it all as well. So, focus on what you can do to help that customer. But you can't get to that until he feels comfortable with you that you're sincere about providing service. Prospecting by phone. I hate it. I love it. I hate it. Reminds me of a guy said to me, he said, I'm 7 years old and I go into the gym and I spend 45 minutes in there and I come out and I'm tired, I'm sweaty, and I hate it. But I love to have worked out. I hate getting on the phone and making a cold call on the phone. I prefer it to be a warmer call. But when I get an appointment, I feel good and I'm happy that I have made that call. I do my calls from the phone, from my cell phone in the car. I don't do them from the desk. I'm taking down the windshield time. I make calls when I'm on the road. I often say, who do I need to call? To my assistant. I get a list, 2, 3, 4, 5, print it out, put the phone numbers there, bang, 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 bang. I make those calls while I'm on the phone. What else do I need to do? I don't need to listen to one more country music song. I'm making calls, making appointments, trying to make deals. And you treat these calls as if you're face-to-face. Yesterday, I did a residential call, and she FaceTimed me. And I'm driving. And I'm like, I accepted it. Hey, how are you? Well, I just got off work, and okay, fine. I can come over on Saturday, yes. So, if she wanted to FaceTime, I'm fine with that. I'm a real person. Okay? Call between appointments while on the road is the only way I do it. We'll talk about that in the next slide. 2 Ps. I want you to do the 2 Ps between 9 and noon and 1 and 4. I want you to be prospecting, out finding business, finding building permits, finding dumpsters, finding construction project, finding, or I want you presenting, making a presentation. I do not email quotes. I deliver proposals and I walk them through the presentation on my tablet. All that other crap, internet search and background and who's on the board and blah, 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 before and after. If you spend 6 hours a day doing the 2 Ps, I guarantee you will be wildly successful. I remember a couple of years ago, a whole bunch of hotels were being built in a particular area in our market. And we didn't seem to be getting a bunch of those hotels. And I kept hounding the salesperson, so why aren't we getting inspection testing? Electricians are putting fire alarms in and inspect. So I cut a day out and I went out and I prospect. I stopped into 25, 30 hotels. I can honestly tell you today, 7 or 8 of those are still paying us $200, $250 a month. And we're doing a quarterly sprinkler, water flow, whatever. They were not monitored. They were not happy with who they were. The electrician put it in. They hadn't had their system tested. All you got to do is go ask for the business. 9 to noon, 1 to 4. Professionals accept rejection. No, nobody likes to be told no. No one likes that. But you need to learn the skill set to accept rejection. You can't take it personally. As they used to say and still say, every no is how much closer to a yes. It's kind of like dating, right? No, finally yes, I'm going to go out with you. Rejection is to be anticipated when qualifying your prospect. It's when qualifying your prospect. You're qualifying. Is this guy likely to buy? Is this guy someone I likely want to sell? And you want to get through that. And if you get rejected while qualifying him, move on. It's a valuable feedback tool. Sales reps who take rejection personally lack the perseverance and rarely make the sale. You cannot put your head between your legs and go out crying because ADT got the job and you didn't get the job. Okay? You need to learn from why you did, what you did right, what you did wrong, and move on. Do you have a prospecting plan? This whole presentation is about prospecting. You have a plan? I'm going to knock on doors on Mondays. I'm going to make phone calls on Tuesday. I'm going to call on school districts on Wednesday. What's your plan? How many phone calls? How many cold calls? How many referrals? Trade shows were kind of standing by, but how many trade shows are you going to go to? What kind of direct mail are you going to do? Do you do anything about regaining lost accounts? Do you track their addresses? What about existing customers? What is your prospecting plan? Sales managers, if you're online, your salespeople need a prospecting plan. I want you to contact 5 new commercial property, 5 new school districts, 6 new churches this month. What's the plan? Excuse me, and it's an ever-evolving plan. I have to have my iced tea. It's a moving target. What, you know, if we had a sales guy who retired, that shows you how old I am. Jeff, I'll think of his last name in a minute. He was our salesman in a little county called Bedford County, Pennsylvania, south of Altoona. And Jeff was a really good sales guy. He was probably making $40,000, $50,000 a year, excuse me. When Jeff retired, he was making well over $100,000. So it was the best thing he ever did was sell his business to Select and come on board and follow our prospecting plan, our lead generation plan. So what happened to Jeff was there was a break-in and a fire at a church. Kids broke in, set the church on fire. We set up a program in the office to telemarket all the churches, find out, get the recordings, because none of that church, they're empty. Excuse me, churches are empty 90% of the time. So you get a phone number, you get an emergency, you get a name of the pastor, and we call and we set appointments for Jeff. He must have sold 10 churches. He said to us, I would have never done that because I don't know how to do that. I didn't know how to call and then follow through and get the person and get somebody on the building committee and get in front of the churches. But if one church got broken into and set on fire, so could the next. And like I said, churches are empty 95% of the time. You need to remember diamonds in your own backyard. And I don't mean diamonds in your own backyard with customers that you haven't gotten. Yes, that's what we're talking about the whole time here. I'm talking about, hey, Mr. Sales Manager, give me a list of the accounts that have canceled in the last 5 years that are in my territory. Oh, here's 100 locations. They're not all happy. What's your prospecting plan? I'm going to call 20 of those a week for the next 5 weeks. I'm going to find somebody who might want to come back and do business with us. Assume the RMR. How much of my time is 12:51? They'll cut me off here. Assume the RMR. We sell nothing, 0 without RMR. 0, 0, 0, 0. I tell the story of Clarion University in northern Pennsylvania. We won a $350,000 IP camera system a couple of years ago. And 3 years of continued maintenance, $2,800 a month. 3 years continued maintenance, paid quarterly. Purchase order comes in for the camera system. We call back, where's the ongoing service agreement? Oh, the IT department has decided they're going to maintain the system after it's installed. I sent the purchase order back and said, get the IT department to rent a trencher, get a bucket truck, terminate fiber, and put the whole system in. I'm not putting the system in. Salesman was little with us. We sent the message. We sell nothing without subscription service. If there's no RMR attached, we walk. We assume the RMR. Our proposals, it's all there. Service contracts, whether it's parts and labor, parts only, labor only, whatever you decide. Standard Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, premium 24/7. Test and inspect. Annual inspection for residential clients. It's $96 a year. Small house, big house. But it's not $96 a year. It's $8 a month added to the monthly. Paid quarterly, and once a year we go out, straighten the yard sign, clean the smoke detector, make her happy, and find out that she added a porch and she needs to buy another motion detector and a door contact. Annual cleaning of smoke detectors. Video surveillance. I have guys say, oh, I sell a $10,000 video surveillance system. What are you just sold a camera system. We don't sell that without an annual service contract, which also includes annual cleaning. Cameras get dirty, spiders. They get dirty, they need cleaned, the lenses need cleaned. RMR. That builds the lifeblood of your business. You're all living on RMR now based on how the sales are going with the COVID thing. Never badmouth your competitors. I'll say something nice. We have an arch rival competitor here in our backyard that absolutely hates my company. But my mother said, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. He, that owns that, is a fabulous golfer. So when someone says to me, well, what do you think about ABC Alarm? I go, he's a great golfer. I'm a better security alarm company guy, salesman, installer, monitoring company. He's a great golfer. You want a great golfer? You got to do business with him. Always say something nice. I said I'd talk about lead flow, prospecting. I said I'd talk about referrals, lead generation, sales plan. I think we covered it all. That's me. Patty, again, I said CEO, and I'm going to turn you over to Kirk Harris. Kirk is our Vice President of Sales and Marketing, and he's going to close out. And then if questions come down the pike, they'll come up on the screen, and we'll get those answered. Kirk, take it over.
Hey, Pat, thanks. Thanks for a great presentation. You know, I know I'm your sales manager, but every time I hear that, there's something I can take away from it. I'm sure that the group that was on here got a lot of great information, a lot of great ideas on how they can improve their business. So appreciate that. I do want to mention, you know, I'm new with Security Partners, but we've rebuilt our sales organization. Pat brought me in to help with that. And we've got some great folks out in the field. Jennifer Solston is working for us, who's working in the West, handling the West Coast. A great guy working out of Dallas, Carl Van Wheat, that is handling all of the central area of the country. And then we just brought in a gentleman, Paul Leak. He's been in the industry for decades. He was out of Georgia working that eastern side of the territory for us. We've also got some inside sales folks. Melissa is working for us on the inside. So we've got a full team that's out there that's able to help if you have wholesale security monitoring needs. So please reach out to me. My information is here on the screen. I will tell you that our sales team is out there traveling where they can. I know COVID is affecting everyone and everyone's business. Sometimes it's difficult to get appointments with your prospects. The same for our team. But where we can visit, where it makes sense, we're doing so. But something I want to show you real quick is we're also making preparations and have the ability to do virtual tours for our business. So it's something I think you guys should be thinking about for your business as well. What are the ways that we can communicate our strategy and our services to the customers that we can't physically go in and see and shake their hands? You need to have a plan in place for your sales team so that there's something that can be done via a YouTube channel or GoToMeeting, or like we've done with a virtual tour. We have the ability to put a meeting together virtually and show all of our facilities, give you an opportunity to take a look and take a tour without coming in, without having any issues. So we'd be happy to do that for you. Again, if you've got interest in wholesale monitoring, please reach out to me, reach out to Pat. We'll find a way, whether we bring you in and take you on a live tour, we come and visit, or maybe we do this virtually and we show you a tour. But we would love to have that opportunity. And even if you just come visit, you take a look at our tour, and that gives you an opportunity for you to see what we've done. So maybe you can incorporate something like this in your current COVID sales strategy out there. So that wraps up our part of the presentation. I think we're going to try and do some Q&A right now. I want to turn this over to the Director of Learning for ADI. I'd like to turn it over to Larry Borghese. Are you on the line, Larry?
Yes, I'm here. Great. Thank you, Kirk. I appreciate it. And,
fantastic.
Great presentation. Pat, thank you very much as well for a fantastic presentation. I'd like to thank everybody who's been participating in our webinar series that have been going on since April. I hope you're finding them enjoyable. And, you know, and a big thanks to Mike Maston, who's been coordinating a lot of these. He's done a fantastic job getting these all set up. I do want to talk about a new training offering, since if you're interested in the webinars that we've been doing, we are now also offering on-demand learning. And so on my screen, I'm sharing our ADI Academy, which launched back in May. And so on ADI Academy, we've got a variety of different training courses. Actually, we've got over 50 plus courses, 65 hours of training. If you look here, you'll see that we've got training on access control, IP video, networking, business skills, quite a few different product line areas. It's product agnostic. It's really intended to help get your technicians to become more effective and efficient in servicing your customers. We do offer a 60-day free trial. So you could select this tile here. It'll take you to the free trial offerings. We've got 3 bundles. Each bundle has anywhere from 5 to 9 different courses: access control, IP networking, IP video. You could take any one of those for 60 days to complete that training. We do offer also a complete annual subscription. This subscription includes all of the courses in the library. It's a $250 per year subscription. In addition to that, we also have a compliance management component on here. So if you are required to maintain credentials for state agencies or other industry organizations, you have the ability to track and monitor that here. It keeps you up to date in letting you know when those continuing education units might be expiring and you need to take some additional training. And so you could track that all in here. You could add your own state licensing or specific certification that you want to track through our menu items here. And then again, as you complete any courses inside of this library, it automatically will be assigned to the appropriate certification, as long as those continuing education units are associated with that. And a majority of the training that we do offer on this site does carry CEUs with a majority of the different states, and we're continuing to add more courses. In the very near future, we'll be introducing manufacturer-specific training. So you could come here to get training on the specific products that you use and install with your customers. All right, that's really all I wanted to share with you. To basically go to the site, it's ADIGlobalacademy.com. You can get there from our ADI website as well. In addition to that, you will need to register for this site separately from our current website. But then once you're in here, you'll have access to all of the library of information.